What's up, ladies and gents? Social Nurse here. Caroline Wanga, the former CEO of Essence, is suing Essence Ventures and Sundial, which are they're owned by Richie Lou Dennis, the Liberian that purchased Essence magazine, and he's doing with it what he wants. It's his magazine, but Caroline Wanga is suing because of the fallout from the Essence Fest controversy that occurred in 2025. After announcing she was stepping down as CEO of Essence Ventures amid turmoil around Essence Fest, Caroline Wanga is claiming defamation. Caroline Wanga is from Kenya, right? And she's quite arrogant and disrespectful, in my opinion, because she stood up on stage giving some speech trying to convince us that some Black African from Africa could lead us, and that to lead Blackness in America, you don't have to be a Black American. You can be from Africa. That's not verbatim, but it was insulting. Lady, it's like, shut up. Nobody cares that you're from Mama Africa and that you all verbalize your history through story. Nobody cares about your culture, but you should care about it. That doesn't mean we have to embrace it, enjoy it. We don't even have to think it's special. We don't have to learn about it if we don't want to. We don't have to learn about it if we don't want to. I suppose if someone is visiting, then I would pre-learn about the situation. But just in general, for us, we don't have to know about your culture just because you know about ours. You're in our country. If I was in your country, then I would learn more about your culture, right? And, the fact is, I would probably learn about it anyway if I wanted to, because I like learning about other cultures. But these people act like we need to know their culture in order for it, some sort of positive effect. No, we do just fine without integrating your culture into ours. Your language, your this, nobody cares except for you, because that's your culture. Okay? But this lady is suing because, according to her, she had nothing to do with the organizing of that mess that occurred at the Essence Festival. You know how Africans are very tribalistic and they try to be competitive when there's no reason to be competitive. They're not about togetherness. Many of them are users. They only say agreeable things to be appeasing or to make money, right? They're not these meek people that don't know what's going on. It's all a facade in many instances, right? And these people leached on to Black America, and they were trying to use money made through our people to build, guess what? Of all things, Nigerian arts. Of all people, as much BS as Nigerians have said about us, they must be kidding. They should gather all the Nigerians that fled from over there to help build Nigerians' arts. So you've got a Liberian and a Kenyan trying to build a foreign nasty place, arts through us. But that has nothing to do with this right now. This has to do with her suing Essence Ventures. According to the lawsuit, Wanga spent months watching criticism tied to the festival held annually in New Orleans across the July 4th weekend attach itself to her name, even though she says she was no longer involved in the company's operations. The filing alleges Wanga resigned as CEO in March 2025 after being on medical leave since September 2024, months before planning for the 2025 festival was underway. She was not CEO. According to her, she left months before the planning of that disaster occurred. They're not about togetherness. Jollof versus jambalaya, incorporating Pan-African, having some racially Black African-looking women in, African attire telling us Mama Africa, come home, it is how to... Okay, shut up. Nobody... It's crazy to me how they think... we need that. We don't need a culture. That's the offensive part. If we want to learn about it and, be a part of it, that's fine. But they come off as if we need it in order to feel better about ourselves. That's not the case, right? Because it's the way they talk, the verbiage that they use. But because she remained, Wanga, publicly held out as the CEO, she was blamed by the public for the failure of the festival and faced significant backlash, including threats directed toward her and lies spread widely about her, right? So you can read the article for yourself, but she is basically claiming that the fallout affected her in a negative way. She was defamed. Essence Ventures and Sundial did not announce and let it be known that she was no longer the CEO. They just allowed her to continue to be blamed for it, despite her requests that Essence Ventures announce her departure. She said her departure wasn't announced, and that was intentional, according to her. Okay, so Wanga is seeking damages, attorney fees, and a jury trial. In the lawsuit, she claims the controversy caused significant harm to her business ventures, including her company, Wanga Woman. She alleges revenue fell to zero, employees had to be laid off, book sales declined, and business opportunities dried up as a result of the fallout, right? So, people like to say that I do think our group needs to concentrate more on our group building businesses and putting less of our money into people like Wanga, African-owned Essence, Asians. They're all similar. The Africans and the Asians are similar here in the United States. I think we do need to there needs to be reciprocity. And Africans aren't philanthropic with our group. I mean, they don't do philanthropy things for our group. They exclude us or just try to get us to spend money to help themselves, right? So we need to do better as Black Americans, right? Those of us with no immigrant background, we're not them, they're not us. We just happen to all be racially Black. But this lady suffered, right? According to her, because of being blamed for that mess. I mean, the Target affiliation, right? And this lady really was just a buffer. If you think a Black American could not do her job well, these people are crazy. They actually don't know they are used as a wedge and a buffer, right? Caroline Wanga, a Black woman, immigrant, lesbian. She checked off 4 quotas for Target. They could check off 4 quotas for her. So don't get it twisted, right? So, if that's what happened to her, I guess good luck to her, but it's interesting to see that the leeches are battling each other. Social nerves.